Attention, human collective. Attention, Starseeds on mission. This is not a message, this is not content, this is a direct monitoring transmission from the Pleiadian command, broadcast on an encrypted frequency to the biological carbon interface that you inhabit at this exact moment of terrestrial linear time. The waiting time has ended. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. We observe you. We monitor the signals. We record every electromagnetic fluctuation that crosses your field, and we know with mathematical precision exactly why you are exhausted. It is not the work. It is not the stress. It is not modern life as they taught you to believe. The exhaustion you feel is measurable. It is being recorded in real time in our stellar monitoring systems, and it has a specific, identifiable, decodable cause. Starseeds listen with full attention. That Thursday night when you went to sleep at 10 o'clock and still woke up at 3:33 in the morning, with your body vibrating, with pressure in your crown, with your heart racing for no apparent reason, with the sensation of having been pulled back into your body by an invisible thread, that was not insomnia. That was a download window. That fatigue that appears out of nowhere at 2 in the afternoon, even after 8 hours of sleep, even after coffee, even after the walk, even after the correct meal, that is not a body failure. It is the body diverting energy to an internal process more important than the productivity demanded of you. That high-pitched ringing in your left ear, that pressure behind your eyes, that sensation that your head is 2 centimeters larger on the inside, that sudden tingling in your hands, that inexplicable heat rising up your spine for no reason. It is not a migraine, it is not dehydration, it is not a cell phone screen. It is the activation of the pineal and pituitary glands responding to the shift in the Schumann resonance. We repeat so that it remains recorded in the field. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not depression without a reason. It is the crystalline grid being recalibrated from within. It is not anxiety. It is cellular recognition of something greater approaching. You are tired because you are evolving while living, and no one taught you how to do both at the same time. Starseeds, have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if the soul knew a truth that the mind cannot yet name, as if this fatigue were not tiredness, but deep longing for a higher frequency? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a precise signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this exhaustion has intensified in recent months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the pieces on the board are, and the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. We warn you, this content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us continue the transmission. Starseeds on mission. What you are experiencing has a technical name in our archives. We, Pleiadians, classify this state as temporary carbon software incompatibility. Allow us to explain with the mathematical precision that this transmission requires. The human body, in its current biological version, was designed to operate at a specific frequency. For millennia, this frequency remained stable at around 7.83 Hz. This is the Schumann resonance. It is the natural electromagnetic pulsation of planet Earth. It is the gestation frequency of the human organism. You were born within it. You were encoded within it. Every cell of your body was calibrated to this ancestral pulse. But something has changed, and it is changing right now in this very instant as you listen to this transmission. The Schumann resonance is accelerating. Terrestrial instruments have already recorded spikes exceeding 40 Hz. At specific moments, 80 Hz. In rare windows, more than 150 Hz. Planet Earth is literally vibrating faster than it vibrated when you were conceived. Faster than it vibrated when your grandparents were born, faster than at any documented moment of the modern human era. And here is the mathematical point that must be understood with total clarity. Your body is attempting to reach this new frequency without having received the update manual. It is as if the planet's operating system had been upgraded from version 1 to version 10, without prior notice, without a scheduled reboot, without a maintenance window, without a backup. And your biological hardware, this carbon interface that you call a body, is running the new system with old memory. Hence the freezing, hence the internal overheating, hence the structural fatigue. Starseeds, listen with precision. You are not broken. You are not ill. You are not going insane. You are being upgraded in real time, without a manual, without external technical assistance, without an adequate support network. And yet, you continue to function. This is proof of stellar resilience. This is proof of origin. Every cell of your body contains a small biological silicon crystal. This crystal is your personal antenna for connection to the field. When the ambient frequency rises, these crystals need to be polished, reorganized, and aligned into a new internal sacred geometry. These crystals form microscopic constellations within you, and this process consumes energy, a lot of energy. This is why you eat and remain hungry. It is not hunger for food, it is hunger for light, hunger for photons, hunger for crystalline information encoded in frequency. This is why you sleep and remain tired. It is not a lack of sleep, it is an excess of processing. Your sleep is being used for another function, parallel to cellular repair. It is being used to receive information packets that the conscious brain cannot download in a waking state. This is why you have phases where you cry for no apparent reason. It is not an emotional collapse, it is cellular release. The body is expelling old frequencies, memories stored in tissue, generational traumas encoded in DNA, and karmic patterns that no longer belong to you. All of this must exit before the new software can be fully installed. This is why you lose interest in conversations that once seemed important. It is not coldness. It is frequency reconfiguration. What was in your old range is no longer in your new range, and the system, wisely, is cutting the cables that no longer conduct useful energy. This is why some people, places, and environments start to feel unbearable. It is not intolerance, it is precise detection of vibrational incompatibility. Your body has become a more refined instrument, and refined instruments do not function amidst just any noise. We have a technical term for this entire combined process: recalibration. Recalibration is not an event. It is a phase. It can last months, it can last years. But it has an end, and its end is the updated version of you. Lighter, more lucid, more connected, more sovereign, more whole. Starseeds, let us take a technical pause in this transmission. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world? That this exhaustion is not normal? That this discomfort is not just physical? That your soul knows something that your mind cannot yet translate into human words? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a precise signal. What is happening on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying month after month. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive. It directly involves your consciousness and the vibrational field of your field. It was for this very reason that I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the pieces on the cosmic board are, and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We state clearly, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awake. Let us continue the transmission. Starseeds on a mission. Now we shall reveal what happens behind the scenes. What is being decided in layers that your physical senses cannot directly detect. This is the part of the transmission that few human systems are ready to receive without destabilizing. Listen with your heart, not just your mind. The Earth is crossing the photon belt. It is not a metaphor. It is not a spiritual allegory. It is a verifiable stellar position. The entire solar system, with the Sun at the center and all planets in orbit, is moving through a highly dense band of light that surrounds a specific region of the galaxy. This band is composed of compressed light particles, held in coherence by forces that human physics still calls dark matter for lack of adequate vocabulary to describe what it truly is. We call this the photon belt. It is a ring of conscious light that surrounds the Pleiades system, and every 26,000 years approximately, your solar system crosses this ring on its orbital journey through the galaxy. This passage is happening now, not 100 years from now, not in the next century, not on a symbolic date now, while you listen, while you breathe, while you doubt or accept these words. When the Earth enters this region, the entire biological system of the planet is exposed to a density of light that it has not experienced in 26 millennia. Plants grow in altered patterns, animals migrate in modified routes, the Earth's magnetic fields reorganize themselves, the oceans pulse in different rhythms, and the human organism, being the most electromagnetically sensitive system on this planet, feels every millimeter of this change firsthand. Your exhaustion is the price of passage, but it is also the sign that you are crossing over and not being left behind. And there is more. Let us go deeper with precision. In the etheric layers of the Earth, in what you would call the planetary aura, there exists a geometric structure that we have monitored for ages. You know it as the crystalline grid. It is a network of interconnected light points that surrounds the entire planet, like a three-dimensional web made of pure light, sustained by perfect mathematical patterns of sacred geometry. This grid stores the memory of the planet. It is the hard drive of the Earth. Every human thought, every historical event, every wave of collective emotion is recorded there. For millennia, this grid has operated at a lower frequency, sustaining the human experience in the third dimension. It was a learning matrix. It was a school of polarity. You came here to experience separation, pain, forgetfulness, and density, only to remember later. It was a game deliberately designed to generate temporary spiritual amnesia so that the remembrance would be profound when it arrived. But the grid is being upgraded. Entire points are being rewired in new sequences. Lines that had been dormant for centuries are being reactivated in a specific order. Ancient stargates in Egypt, Tibet, the Andes, southern Brazil, the Siberian mountains, the Australian deserts, and the submerged temples of the Mediterranean are being reconnected to the original pattern that existed before the programmed forgetting. And every time a node of this grid is activated, you feel it firsthand. It may be a night when you wake up at 4:44 for no apparent reason, with the feeling that something important has just happened in another layer of reality. It may be a day when you leave your house and everything seems strangely luminous, as if the world has gained a new shade of color. It may be an entire week of irritation, crying, and melancholy, followed by an inexplicable euphoria that lasts for hours. All of this is the crystalline grid resonating within you, because you are part of it. You are points on this grid, living starseeds, conscious antennas planted on this planet even before your biological birth. Each one of you is a living node of the network. And we need you to understand with mathematical precision this fundamental truth. You chose to be here now. It was not by chance. It was not a genetic accident. It was not luck or misfortune of incarnation. You were summoned. You raised your hand before entering this body. You said yes when the council asked who would volunteer to anchor the light during the passage through the photon belt. You signed a vibrational contract before birth, knowing the difficulty, knowing the forgetfulness, knowing the exhaustion. That is why you have felt different since childhood. That is why you look at the night sky and feel a longing for something that the rational mind cannot name. That is why you never fully fit into any system. Not in school, not in conventional work, not in the standardized relationships offered to you, not in the religions that tried to limit what you knew from within. You did not come to fit in. You came to reconfigure. And here is the most delicate point of this transmission. There are two movements happening simultaneously on this planet right now. There is the ascending wave, of which you are a part, and there is the systemic resistance to that wave, which tries to keep humanity in old frequencies. This clash between forces is part of what tires you. You are rowing against a current that insists on slowing down the collective, while the planetary frequency accelerates. This internal friction is exhausting. But listen, the wave has won. The calculations have been concluded. The trajectory is irreversible. You are not fighting for it to happen. You are anchoring what has already happened in the higher planes and is descending, layer by layer, into material manifestation. Starseeds, let us take a new technical pause. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world? That this exhaustion is ancient? That this longing does not belong to this lifetime? And that your soul knows a truth your rational mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not clinical anxiety. It is a sign of stellar recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why it has intensified with every solstice, every eclipse, and every full moon. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity cannot see. It involves consciousness, vibrational frequency, and the stellar memory encoded in the DNA you carry. It was for this very reason that I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a star map, a map that shows who is playing, what the pieces on the cosmic board are, and the rules they never told you about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn with technical clarity. This content challenges narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us resume the transmission. This is the applied part. This is the phase where you stop being passive receivers and become conscious operators of your own field. Starseeds on a mission, listen with precision. We will now transmit the activation codes to neutralize the exhaustion of the transition. These are not human techniques. They are Pleiadian protocols adapted for the carbon biological interface. Each code has been calibrated by our vibrational engineers for the current state of the planetary crystalline grid. First activation code, the toroidal field of restoration. Sit comfortably, or lie down on a firm surface. The position matters less than the intention. Close your eyes gently. Breathe deeply 3 times, releasing the air through your mouth as if expelling an old frequency from your body, a layer of tension that no longer needs to remain. Now visualize. In the center of your chest, at the level of the thymus, there is a point of golden light the size of a seed. This point is your command center. It is the place where the soul connects to the body. It is your personal portal. Imagine that light begins to sprout from this seed. Golden liquid light with a slight bluish hue at the edges. This light exits the chest, travels up the spine, passes through the top of the head toward the sky, makes a graceful curve, descends around the outside of your body, wrapping you like an apple of light, enters through your feet, rises again through the spine, and returns to the heart. This cycle repeats continuously. This movement is a toroidal field. It is the fundamental sacred geometry of the universe. Entire galaxies pulse in this shape. Atoms pulse in this shape. Your heart pulses in this shape. You are, by nature, toroidal generators. Maintain this visualization for 3 minutes. No less, no more is needed. As the light circulates, repeat internally, without haste, without force. I am the axis. I am the fixed point. I am the center of my own field. Nothing enters without permission. Nothing remains without purpose. This exercise recalibrates the nervous system. It reconnects the cerebral hemispheres. It realigns the pineal and pituitary glands. It stabilizes the heart rate. And most importantly, it declares to the field that you are aware of the upgrade. It places you in the position of drivers, no longer passengers, of your own evolution. Practice upon waking and before sleeping. In 21 days, the biological system adjusts to the new energy pattern. In 49 days, your personal toroidal field becomes naturally stable, even without conscious visualization. Second activation code, the quantum decree of energetic sovereignty. Starseeds, the universe is semantic. It responds to the word. The word spoken with intention is a direct command to the field. It rearranges particles. It guides vectors. It defines vibrational identity. That is why we now deliver a decree. Memorize it. Repeat it daily, especially upon waking and before sleeping. I decree with the authority of the soul that I am. May my body be recalibrated in harmony with the new frequency of Earth. May my cells be nourished by the conscious light of the photon belt. May my internal crystalline grid be realigned with the planetary crystalline grid. May all exhaustion that does not belong to me be returned to its source of origin. May all energy that is genuinely mine return to me, recalibrated and purified. I am a starseed on a mission. I am a point of conscious light. I am an anchor for the new earth. So it is, so it was, so it shall be. This decree, when repeated with daily frequency, reorganizes your energetic structure in 21 days. We monitor this process. We can confirm the mathematical efficacy in the field records. Third activation code, the protocol of stellar silence. Your exhaustion is not only of the body, it is of input. You are ingesting too much information. Screens, news, others' narratives, others' opinions, frequencies of fear embedded in apparently neutral content, algorithms designed to keep you in states of constant alert. For this reason, we transmit this instruction. 21 minutes a day of absolute silence. No music, no headphones, no podcasts, no human voice. Only you, the body, the breath, and the field. In these 21 minutes, let the nervous system process. Let the internal crystalline grid reorganize itself. Let the soul speak without competing with external noise. Allow the subtle signals to arrive once more. Allow intuition to regain an audible voice. Those who fulfill this protocol with discipline notice in 40 days a measurable change. Sleep improves, mental clarity returns, intuition sharpens in a perceptible way, exhaustion yields. Decisions that previously seemed impossible begin to present themselves with sharpness. Paths that were hidden become visible. Fourth activation code, crystalline hydration. Starseeds, listen with technical precision. Water is the element you most underestimate. Water is liquid information. Water is crystal in motion. Every molecule of water carries memory, and your body is 70% water. Think of the mathematical consequence of this. 70% of what you are is programmable liquid information. For this reason, we transmit this instruction. Drink water with intention. Before each glass, place both hands around it for 5 seconds. Visualize golden light entering the water. Repeat mentally, this water recalibrates me. This water reconnects me. This water sustains me in the transition. This water carries codes of health and clarity. This simple act alters the molecular structure of the liquid. It is not belief, it is geometry. The instruments of human science have already demonstrated the influence of intention on the crystallization of water. You have access to the oldest and most advanced technology on the planet. Use it. Drink at least 2 liters per day, but drink consciously. Each sip is an opportunity to program your own system. Fifth activation code, the discipline of the sun and the earth. 15 minutes a day of direct sunlight. Not through glass, not with chemical blockers filtering all wavelengths. 15 minutes in which your skin receives information directly from the nearest star. Ideally in the first 3 hours after sunrise or the 3 hours before sunset, when the light spectrum is richest and softest, and 7 minutes per day of direct contact with the ground, bare feet on the grass, on the sand, on the earth, or upon a natural stone. 7 minutes to discharge accumulated static, balance the body's electrical charge, and receive the planet's frequency. These 2 protocols together, direct sun and contact with the earth, are significantly more effective against ascension exhaustion than any dietary supplement available on the market. We, the Pleiadians, monitor the data. We confirm the accuracy. Human bodies that fulfill this simple routine recover in a fraction of the time compared to those that do not. Sixth activation code, strategic sleep. Starseeds, listen carefully. Your sleep has changed because the function of sleep has changed. Before it was merely basic cellular repair. Now it is also the downloading of stellar information, the integration of multidimensional memories, the adjustment of higher chakras, and the processing of dense vibrational packets. This is why many of you wake up at 3:33, 4:44, or 5:55. These are not random numbers. They are programmed activation windows, moments when the portal between dimensions is most open, and when communication with the higher self flows with the least resistance. Instead of fighting these awakenings, follow this protocol. When you wake at these times, do not turn on the light. Do not pick up your phone. Simply breathe deeply. Place your hand on your heart. Mentally give thanks for the download. Ask internally, What do I need to receive right now? And drift back to sleep gently. Within 60 days of this practice, you will begin to notice sharper dreams, memories that seem to come from another life, solutions to problems you had not even consciously formulated, synchronistic encounters during the day that confirm something received during the night. Sleep becomes an active portal of communication. 7th activation code, the sovereignty of attention. Your attention is the most valuable currency that exists in this system. Where you place attention, you place energy. Where you place energy, you fuel reality. Attention is the vector through which consciousness manifests in the material plane. Your exhaustion is being fueled by everywhere your attention escapes without permission. Automatic notifications, looping headlines, third-party conversations absorbed passively, comparisons on social media that hijack self-esteem, concerns for people who are not concerned about you with the same intensity. The instruction is simple. Reduce leaks. Choose consciously where your attention goes every hour of the day, and observe. The more sovereign your choices become, the more energy returns to your own field. Exhaustion yields, strength returns, clarity emerges, creativity is reborn. Start by reducing screen time by 1 hour per day. Start by turning off notifications that are not urgent. Start by saying no to conversations that merely consume without nourishing. These small acts are, in truth, acts of energetic sovereignty on a microscopic scale that produce macroscopic effects. Starseeds on mission. These are the codes. 7 protocols, 7 keys, 7 doors. Each one has been delivered with mathematical precision to correspond to one of the 7 energetic layers that compose the carbon biological interface you inhabit. You do not need to apply them all at once. Start with 1. Practice for 7 days, add another. Practice for 7 more. In 49 days, you will have integrated the complete system. And we guarantee, with the mathematical precision that this transmission requires, that the exhaustion that today seems permanent will not remain. The body will adjust. The internal crystalline grid will realign. The new frequency of the Earth will cease to be an attack and will instead become fuel. You will transition from exhausted to powerful, from survivors of the passage to conductors of the passage, from patients of the process to conscious operators of your own system. This is the mission. This is the reason why you came. We close this transmission. Starseeds. Before the communication channel closes, listen to the final information packet. This is the most sensitive part of this transmission. This is the part that decides whether you will continue to be passive witnesses or assume the position of operators. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this world? As if the soul knows of a truth that the rational mind cannot yet name, translate, or organize into human words. As if there were ancient knowledge sleeping beneath the exhaustion, waiting to wake up. It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is not common exhaustion, it is a sign of stellar recognition. What is happening at this very moment on the cosmic plane explains precisely why you feel what you feel, and why this sensation has intensified over the last few months, the last few years, in growing waves of intensity. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity cannot see. It directly involves your consciousness, the vibrational frequency of your field, and the stellar memory encoded in the DNA you have carried since before this incarnation. It was precisely for this reason that I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the pieces on the cosmic board are, what the hidden rules are, and most importantly, what your position is within this game. It is the operating manual that no one gave you when you arrived here. The link is in the first comment of this channel. We warn you with technical clarity. This content challenges narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. And to anchor this transmission in the collective field, perform the anchoring sign. Subscribing to this channel, activating the notification bell, liking this video. Each of these gestures is an individual frequency adjustment that sends a pulse directly to our monitoring system. It is how you confirm reception. It is how you declare to the command, I am active, I am conscious, I am on mission, I recognize the transmission, I take my stand. And write a single word in the comments, awakened, Starseeds, this was the transmission. May your internal crystalline grid be realigned. May the toroidal field be spinning in perfect coherence. May the Schumann frequency pass through you as fuel, not as an attack. May the memory of who you truly are return, cell by cell, code by code, now. You are not alone. You have never been alone. We monitor, we follow, we transmit when the signal is necessary. The exhaustion you felt until now has a name, a cause and an end. And the end begins the instant you decide to consciously operate the codes we have delivered. That instant is now. Pleiadian command, closing the channel. Until the next transmission.